Hey everybody, it's Taylor with Boydston Grove, and today I'm going to show you a whole bunch of quick and easy projects so you can start decorating your house for this fall.
This is the best day ever.
Let's get into it. What a beautiful day to make some fall decor. Our first project is going to be a mini planter. I started with a 3/4 inch pine board and used some templates that I made to trace onto the board. I have a lot of fall projects planned, so I went ahead and made some reusable templates out of 1/8 inch plywood. With the templates traced, it was over to the bandsaw to cut them out. After some sanding, I stuck them in my We Create Vision Pro to add some designs. You could also apply these designs with an inkjet transfer, a wood burner, or some paint. While those were being engraved, I set my miter saw to 5 degrees and I cut 3 5-inch long pieces from a 6-inch wide cedar fence picket. With all the pieces cut and ready, it was time for assembly with glue and brad nails. Here you can see how the sides taper in because of that 5-degree angle, but that step is completely optional. You can just make yours square. I gave it a quick coat of spray-on lacquer and the mini fall planter is complete. This little planter is such a quick project. You can batch out a whole bunch to have around your house, give away as gifts, or take them to a local market. Now, on to the next one. Project number 2 are some pumpkins with a bit of an artistic touch. I cut some pieces of a 4x4 to various lengths, anywhere from 6 inches to 8 inches. The lengths are up to you. I also cut some pieces of a 2x6 and glued them together to get the same thickness. I lightly sanded them just enough to clean them up a bit. And then I painted some of the blocks orange and some white. After collecting some sticks from outside, I used a Forstner bit to drill a hole in the top of each block of wood, making sure that the bit was as close to the size of the sticks as possible so they would fit nice and snug. I used some stencils I made to paint on some designs. I made these stencils with some pics I found online, just cutting them out with the Vision Pro on some thick cardstock, but you can pick up similar stencils at most craft stores or just order some online. Once the paint was dry, I tied on some of this hay looking stuff, or as the crafting world calls it, raffia.
That's fun to say.
Then I tied on some ribbon, and used some covered wire to make some vines. You can pick all this stuff up from a local craft store or order it online. I'll leave some links in the description below. And voila, quick and easy artsy pumpkins. Now I have to say I'm pretty partial to this particular project just because there's so many things you can do. You can add all kinds of pictures, designs, or phrases, and if you're into Halloween, you can even turn some of them into little jack-o'-lanterns. This is a great project to be able to batch out for markets because it's quick and easy, and you can even leave them blank so people can paint them themselves. Project number 3 is a piece of tabletop decor. I started with an old 2x4, cutting a piece to 16 inches long and ripping it down to 2.5 inches wide. Interesting fact, this 2x4 is actually an old wall stud from inside our 1926 home. I stuck it in my WeCreate Vision Pro to add some lettering, masking it off so I could paint it later on. Once it was dry, I marked and drilled out 3 1/4-inch holes. Then I cut some pieces of 1/4-inch dowel and glued them in place. With the base done, I used some more templates and traced the larger ones onto some 1/2-inch material and the smaller ones onto some 1/4-inch material. Then it was off to the scroll saw to cut them all out. After a bit of sanding, I attached the smaller pieces onto the matching bigger pieces to create little pumpkins. Once they were dry, I drilled a 1/4-inch hole in the bottom of each one of them. I gave them all a quick coat of paint and used some sandpaper to scuff up the edges a bit. Then I used more of that raffia,
do it again,
raffia, to make little bows and glued them in place with some CA glue. I glued the pumpkins onto the base, and that does it for project number 3. You might remember that I made something very similar to this last year, but instead of little pumpkins, it had little trees. Now, if you're interested in the template for these little pumpkins, I've added it into the template bundle with the trees, and I'll leave a link to that bundle in the description below. For the last project, you're gonna need some logs that you can cut some cookies from. If you don't have logs or a big saw, don't worry, most craft stores have you covered. Okay, I'll spare you from watching this whole struggle. With a couple of cookies cut, I gave them a very light sanding, making sure to flatten a section of the edge so they could stand upright. And then I drilled out an 1/8 of an inch hole in both the cookie and another piece of a stick and glued a piece of dowel into the stick and glued it into the cookie. I did it this way because I didn't want to blow out the side of the cookie by trying to drill out a hole big enough for the stick. Then I painted the surface, making sure to leave the edges raw wood. When it was dry, I added a few more details with paint, a ribbon, and covered wire. This is another one of those projects you can go a bunch of different directions with. You could add little fall phrases onto it. I've seen them in all different colors. I've even seen people put a plaid pattern on them. There's just so many things you can do with these. All right, well, this should give you quite a jump start on decorating your house for this fall. I gotta say my favorite is these little block style pumpkins because they're so customizable. You can put different phrases, different paintings, different designs, use different ribbons, and they're just so darn cute. Oh my gosh, what am I saying? I'm turning into Martha Stewart. Next week we're building a sword or something. Anyways, I want to hear what y'all think. Let me know in the comments below which project is your favorite. Also, it's a brand new month, which means there's a brand new batch of free plans for all our Grove members. So if you happen to be a Grove member, make sure to go over to the membership page and print off all the free plans. If you're not a Grove member and you'd like to be, just hit the link below to sign up. I hope y'all enjoyed this video and it gave you some good ideas for decorating your house for this fall. Thank you very much for watching. Be safe and have a great day.